ASPtrainings.com. My name is Sumit, and I'm a subject matter expert with Salesforce Solution. This is my another video in Salesforce Advanced Deployment, and the topic for today video is how to perform Salesforce deployment using Ant migration tool. So I'm going to demonstrate you how to migrate the data from one Salesforce org into another Salesforce org. So migration tools are useful when we want to migrate the data from among different Salesforce organizations, or we would like to migrate the Apex classes or triggers or workflows we have configured in one organization, and we wanted to replicate the same thing in another Salesforce organization. So that can be done with the help of migration tool, and the migration tool which we are going to use here, that is Ant migration tool. So the very first tool or the software which we require to perform this process is we should have a Java installed on our machine. So let me look for command prompt, and here I write Java version. So when I pass this command, as you can see, it's giving me an information about Java. If you got an error message, so either Java is not installed on your machine, or the path in the system environment variable has not been configured properly. So you need to check both of them. The next software which we required is, that is the Apache Ant, and that you can download by going to this URL, that is antapache.org/bin/cgi, and we will download this. So we'll download the most recent version. So I have already downloaded this and store it as a zip file on my F drive, and I've put them into Salesforce tools and tools, and within and tools I've got Salesforce and 45.0. And sorry, so this is the Apache Ant. I have downloaded Apache Ant 1.0.5 bin. So this tool we need to download. So first we download this and unzip this. When you unzip, you will get a directory as Apache Ant 1.05, and these are the files you will get respectively. So the next thing we need to do is we need to switch to our system environment. We need to open the our system environment variable, and there we need to set path. So as you can see, I have already set a path. So there are two paths I have configured. First is Java home, and second one is Ant home. And in Ant home, I use the same location, same path, F Salesforce tools and tools Apache Ant 1.0.5. So Apache Ant 1.0.5. So that's the path I've configured, and same Ant home I add to path. So this Ant home I added into path like this manner. So these two steps you have to perform, and so make sure that you perform exactly like this, so that you can use your Ant without any error. So once we configured the step, once we configured the environment variables, now let's go and check whether Ant is installed or not. So I just write Ant version, and if there is if it founds the error, so you can see I'm getting a message here, Apache Ant version 1.0.5 compiled on July 10, 2018. So this means the Apache Ant has been installed successfully and the path has been set. If there is an if it didn't found the Ant, so it will throw an error message, but here it is the Apache Ant is working perfectly fine. Now the next step we need to take is we need to download the Salesforce migration tool, and that tool we can download from by going into Salesforce org. So let me switch to my Salesforce org, and this is my Salesforce org credentials. So let me log in into Salesforce org, and hash 12345. So I just log in into my Salesforce environment, and from here we will download the force.com migration tool. So force.com migration tool is required, And with the help of force.com migration tool and Apache, and we will perform this task, we'll complete this task. And in order to get the tool, in quick find search, just tools, switch to develop tools, and here you need to click on the lightning platform tools and toolkits. From here down, click Ant migration tool, and Ant migration tool, it will redirect you to new link from where, so it's an official website for Salesforce meant for developers, and from here we can download the migration tool for the latest version. So download the zip for the Spring 19 and migration tool. So I have downloaded, and that's the latest version for it, Salesforce and 45.0. So that's the most recent version, and I have unzipped it successfully, this also. Now the next thing we need to do is, we open Salesforce and 45.0, this migration tool. We copy this and Salesforce executable zar file. We copy this and we need to paste it into Apache and lib, and just paste that directory here. So when you do that, you will see that we have that file exists here. So the file name is and Salesforce, and this file is added here successfully, and Salesforce. So the file has been added here successfully. That's the executable zar file. So this zar file is added here successfully if it is already added. So like in my case, I'll just replace the file in the destination and I replace the existing file. So, so we have configured the connectivity between the Apache and the migration tool. Now uh, the next step is to configure the files and get ready, get our environment ready for migration. So for this, I switch to and tools, Salesforce, and in Salesforce, and I'll go to sample. In sample you will get two files. You have build properties and build. So these two files you will get, build properties and build. And uh, so build properties and build. So first of all, I just check build properties, and this build properties we need to set the here it will this build property we need to specify the login credentials for the desired Salesforce organization. And here we need to provide the credentials for the organization from where we wanted to retrieve the data. So I want to retrieve my data from, basically my requirement is I would like to extract all my Apex classes from one Salesforce organization and deploy them on another Salesforce org. So this is my source Salesforce org. Once we run this, we will extract, retrieve all the Apex classes from there. Then we will be changing this file again and mention the target Salesforce org. So here this is my source Salesforce org, source Salesforce org, and this will be my target Salesforce org. So these are, I have got two different Salesforce org. I have got one for source, another one is target. So I use source one. The next file we need to customize, that is the build one. So I edit this file also. Before that, build.xml, and in this build.xml, basically this file contains information from your build.properties, and you can see the property file is build.properties. So this file build.property will provide the username and password to build.xml. So in build.xml we use conditional property, username, password, and session ID. So this session ID will be passed by Salesforce itself. And the task directory resource is com salesforce entlib.xml. So we can go to Apache, and the files are there. This one. So file is uh, this file we have is Salesforce and sample, and the file exists here, com and S-force or Salesforce and com Salesforce antlib.xml, com Salesforce antlib.xml. So this is the directory, this is the file we are using. So, and URI is set. Then and salesforce.zar. So this is looking for and salesforce.zar. So that's why we copied this and salesforce.zar from we copied this salesforce.zar in our Apache and, because we set the location for Apache and. So basically from Apache and we have copied this and Salesforce. So whenever we executing our process, so we would be running it by going into Apache and. So this much we did. Next step we need to do is we have various functions. So these are various functions and deploy our retrieve works for package. So we have certain packages here. Let's say we have a package called retrieve unpackage, bulk retrieve, retrieve package, deploy zip, deploy code, and so on. Now, the very first command, I would like to retrieve the package. I would like to retrieve all the Apex classes from Salesforce, from my source Salesforce org. So this is the retrieve code, and this retrieve code will be using username, password, session ID, session URL, maximum poll, code PKG. Code PKG is the retrieve target, and unpackage will be done with the help of package.xml. So in code PKG, there is a file called package.xml. So let me show you in sample code PKG. There is a file called package.xml. So when we open this package.xml file, we'll find out certain libraries are there, certain tags are there. So basically this file tells what to do. This file tells what is the basically which function need to be called, and how it which function or which basically what type we need to be invoked. So first of all, let me show you the build.xml, and in build.xml we have a retrieve target code pkg. So retrieve target code pkg, there are two folders, classes and triggers. So all the classes we would be extracting will be stored within classes, and all the triggers we would be extracting will be stored into triggers. So now my objective is to extract all the Apex classes from my Salesforce org. So here I got Apex classes, and I would like to retrieve all these Apex classes. I would like to read all these Apex classes and is stored within this directory. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me delete the existing one. Now let's see how we are going to run it. And in order to run this, we need to basically we need to get to we need to switch to Salesforce tool and Salesforce and sample directory. So we need to sample directory, because here we have build properties and packages. So I'll just navigate to sample, and here I write and retrieve code. Now when I say and retrieve code, because why we use and here, why we use sample folder, because within sample we have code pkg. So this will be our target directory. So that's why I navigate to sample, and this would be using the Apache ant we have installed over there, and we have configured the environment. So now the command, when I say ant retrieve code, as you can see in code pkg, right now the classes folder is blank, this directory is blank. So this retrieve code, basically this retrieve code will switch to package xml. Let me put some comments, and we would be retrieving all the Apex classes. So I just write Apex classes, this one. So members Apex classes. So what it will do, it will retrieve all. I put a star means I'm not extracting, I'm not retrieving any specific Apex class. It will retrieve all the Apex classes and store them, or store into our code pkg classes directory. So let's execute this command. So and retrieve code is the function which exists. Retrieve code is the block we are retrieving. So target is our retrieve code, and it's a case sensitive, so make sure that the commands you are passing, that is correct. So it starts building using build.xml. So this process will take some time, and as you can see, it has been the status required status is succeeded. The finished request successfully, build successful, and 10 seconds. Now let me go and check my directory and build properties. Okay, save it and make sure and any changes we made, they should be saved properly. Let me run again. So now let me see this, say the process is completed. Now let's go and check within my classes. So in classes, you see we files. So all these are the Apex classes which are available in our Salesforce org. So these all classes are stored over there, and the classes like change password controller test, and data manager activity. You will find out all these uh, data manager activities. You will find out all these classes are there. So that's the way how we can retrieve the files from these from the source org. Now my objective is I have got another Salesforce org, and this will be my target Salesforce org. So this is my sale target, and let me log in into that org also. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy the I'm going to deploy one of the Apex class in this org with the help of ant migration tool. So first of all, let's go and check, do we have any Apex classes or pre-built Apex classes? So as you can see, there are no Apex classes right now. It's a blank and there are no Apex classes. So my objective is to deploy one of the Apex class from this code pkg classes directory onto my Salesforce org. So that's what my requirement is, and this we are going to achieve with the help of ant migration tool. And in order to do that, we need to do some customization. Number one, in build properties, we need to change the we need to set the Salesforce organization username and password. So that's the Salesforce username. Password is admin12345, and the security token. You might be wondering that in the first source one, why didn't I use security token? Because in that Salesforce org, I have removed the restriction of IP restriction, means I have removed the IP restriction, but in the target one, I haven't removed the IP restriction. So that's why here I need to provide the security token. And how we can check this? You can simply go to your name and my settings, and in my settings you can go and check whether whether it is asking you to reset your security token. If it is not asking you to reset your security token, it means security token is not required with that. So that's why here in the source Salesforce org, security token was not required by me. So I just remove that. And the next step we need to change is I'll switch to build xml, and in okay no before build xml I switch to package xml. First of all, I just put this as a mark this as a comment, and now my requirement is I would like to deploy the opportunity registration handler. So let's go and check one class here. Actually, I'll say opportunity reg handler is a class. So I would like to deploy this class on my target Salesforce org. So what I'm doing, I select all of them and leave these two classes. So one is the opportunity registration handler class, and one is the meta class. So that's the metadata about this class. So I just left it here. And here in package XML, I just mentioned this class name. So member opportunity registration handler, and it's an Apex class. So this class I would like to deploy on Salesforce org, on target Salesforce org, and build.xml I would be using deploy code no test level specified, because this will be deploying without any testing done. If we use deploy code, then what happened, we need to first it will run the apex class, it will run and test the apex class, and then it will deploy. So there is a difference between this one and this one. Here first it will test your apex class and then it will deploy, and this one it would be deploying the apex class without any testing. So I would be using this method to deploy my class. So I just type a command and deploy code. So basically I would be using and deploy code no test level specified and run it. So when I type this command, it will start execution, and it will connects to the target Salesforce org and start deploying the Apex class whose path we have configured in our package XML. And you can see build is successful. The request is finished. Now let's go and check in our Salesforce and target org, and I refresh it. When I refresh, if everything is okay, we can see the Apex class has been added as an opportunity registration handler. So this opportunity registration handler class is from my source Salesforce org. So like this way, I can migrate the data from one Salesforce org to another Salesforce org. Now here I have migrated the Apex class. In similar manner, we can migrate the objects, we can migrate the records, and so on. And just to check the status, the deployment status, we can go and check the deployment status. And in deployment status, we can see how many of the process have been succeeded and how many of the process have been failed. And to control its limit, we can set the maximum 20 request can be handled at a time. So this would be the this we can increase or decrease as per requirement, as per our client's requirement. So if we want to scale up our application, we'll increase the numbers. If we want to scale down our application, will decrease the numbers. So that's the way how we can deploy the Apex class from one Salesforce org to another Salesforce org. So that's all in this video. I hope this video seems interesting to you. So if you have some customized training requirement or some consulting requirements on Salesforce, you can connect with us. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.